Um, you know, there's not much you can say after an absolute thrashing like that in back-to-back games. You know, disappointing would be an understatement from myself, from our coaching staff. Just completely unacceptable. You know, we gave up over 200 points in 2 games. And to me, we let our missed shots again early completely affect our level of commitment to compete. And I told the guys after the game, you know, I'm gonna watch the film. Obviously, I'm emotional. They should be emotional too. It's completely embarrassing in front of a good crowd at home that wants to come support us, and that's how you show up and play. But I'm gonna watch the film, and I'm gonna find 5 guys that will compete. I don't care who they are. I don't care how young they are. I don't care how old they are. I don't care what they do. They're gonna compete. I'm not gonna allow this season to be dictated by, you know, missing shots and then our soul leaves our body. It's like you actually play big time basketball. You will continue to get your teeth kicked in if you don't lay it on the line. And hey, guess what? Houston's pretty good too, and they're coming. And so, you know, we're gonna watch the film. We're gonna find a group in a rotation that is willing to work. And regardless of circumstances, they're willing to lay it on the line. I mean, Georgia's a good team. I think Mike's doing a really good job. They've built their team on a system similar to how we're trying to do, and we'll eventually get there. They do a great job in transition, but our entire game plan went out the window in the first half. They were driving 94 feet. No one stopped the ball. No one shifted to the ball. We didn't protect the rim. Layup and dunk after layup and dunk, and it was because our guys missed shots early and they let it affect their overall, you know, compete level. In my opinion, and maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'll see something different on film, but in real time, you know, we from a staff we tried just about everything. We went zone. It worked a little bit better in the second half. We went zone. We pressed, fell back to man. We went switching 1 through 5. We did our base coverages. It doesn't really matter. You can be John Wooden if you don't have the intensity in the fight and the grit to work through some things. Doesn't matter what schemes and strategy you have. Nothing's going to work. So those are my thoughts.
Questions, please.
I presume you reinforced things after the A&M game. How disappointing was it that did show up?
Yeah, and that was the other message I said to our team. We had 2 of the best practices of the year. We had way more intensity in practice than the game, which, guys, what are we doing? The bright lights are on. You got a great crowd, big time opponent in the SEC, and we practiced harder than we played. We beat each other up more than we did Georgia. It's baffling. And like I said, I'm going to find a group of guys that's willing to lay it on the line, and everyone else is going to sit on the bench. Not to sound like Bobby Knight, the bench is the ultimate motivator. You know, the whole ass meets bench sends a signal to brain figures out what's going on, and then all of a sudden you're motivated to play. There's going to be some guys sitting down, and it's not because they're missing shots. It's because they're not playing hard. We're not living up to our value. One of our core values is compete, and if you're not competing, you're going to come be an extra coach for me.
You guys, a couple of games ago, you had Leger. He had 10 threes by himself. Ties the program record. It's been 3 straight with single digits from the entire team. I think you talked about like missing shots and affecting mentality. Why is it so volatile? I know you might not have the answer right now, but from what you've been able to dissect so far.
Yeah, it's a great question. I turned to Jim Moran early in the game, and I'm sure I'll say this throughout the year, and especially as we build our program. Like, this is the first I've ever seen. Like, we generated so many great open looks in the first half, wide open, catch and shoot, in the corner often, that we just didn't make. And we got to find a way to make shots. This team was built on shooting, and if we can't make shots with how many shooters we have, we're gonna have some problems. We're gonna have some issues. So part of it is to have some poise as the game is going, to step up and do your job and make open shots. But the other part of it, like in life, things don't always go your way, and we let missed shots and great looks, but we let missed shots affect everything else going on. And to me, that's where I draw the line. You know, I don't know how good we'll be this year. I think we got a chance to be pretty good if we compete. But there's one thing I won't bend on in terms of our standard. I will not let our guys not work hard. I don't care if we lose every other game from here on out and we miss every 3-point attempt from here on out. If you're not working the way I think this team can work, and I've seen this team work, we're gonna have a lot of guys sitting on the bench.
It seemed, obviously it's been worse the last 2 games, but it's felt like a while. Maybe, I mean, it's the Florida game, maybe the last time you were satisfied with a first half. What do you think? Is there a common theme between it's just maybe not the best starts, the best first halves through a lot of this beginning stretch of the season?
Yeah, I'm telling you right now, I'm gonna shake up the starting lineup, and it's not a blame on anyone individually in that starting lineup, but and actually statistically and analytically, that's our best lineup. But in the first half, we just, I don't have the answers right now, but we're not getting it done the first half. And against lesser teams and lesser opponents, we found a way in the second half to absolutely dominate, and you win by 25-30. But these starts are not good. To be down in back-to-back games, double digits within minutes of the game, it's unacceptable. And we're gonna find a group that works, and we're gonna build off that. But to me, it's open season for minutes right now, and that's not a threat to anyone. But in practice, they're going to earn their minutes, and then in the game, they're going to continue to earn their minutes. And the guys that aren't playing well and aren't putting the team first and aren't competing will come take a seat.
You were on some teams that won games, 53-49 or whatnot, and had plenty of times where shots were not falling, and the
Sure.
defense kept it in the game. Is that something that has to be player-led, like on the court? There's only so much you can do as a coach, or is that just a mentality that comes from, I don't know, like leadership or having been there before?
Yeah, I'd do my best to never bring our teams up. Just my time's done. Our Derwin Kitchen's time is done. But I will tell you, our groups had some backbone, and we had some tenacity to us, and we had a standard. We didn't score the ball, but it was extremely difficult to score on us, and some of that, if we're being honest and open here, the circle of trust, some of that was because we had some absolute animals behind the play, and those guys cost a lot of money right now, and you see it in back-to-back games. They had some guys in the interior that were, it was like they were playing on a little tyke soup. But that's not an excuse. I like our team, and I really like the way we built our team. We're not playing the type of basketball that complements the way our team is built. And there's gonna be a lot of games this year where we feel like we don't have the size and strength to go against some guys, but we still have positional size, especially 1 through 4. Right now we don't have the heartbeat and the soul we need. And again, our teams is not about it, it's just the reality. We won a lot of games on just straight up heart and soul. And we weren't the most talented group. Most times we played, the other team had more talent. They had more NBA talent. But together, basketball is I don't know if you guys are aware, there's 5 guys on the court and they have to work together. And right now we have 5 individuals on the court just doing their own thing on both sides of the ball. That's gonna get you beat and embarrassed, like we have. And listen, man, we think Texas A&M is good, and they are. And we think Georgia's good, and they are. They're gonna be a good team. Houston is a top tier program in America for a reason, because those guys are absolutely 1,000% dog, and they do it together.
Last question, please.
There was a portion there, kind of late in the first half, where it felt like there was a foul called on almost every possession. Do you kind of chalk that? I saw you kind of talking to the refs and kind of, getting emotional there, hyping up the crowd. Is that something that you kind of chalk up to your guys, kind of the mental being out and just making mistakes like that? Or is that something where it's just a physical game?
Yeah, I have no issue with the way the refs ref the game tonight. I thought they did a great job. I thought Georgia just bullied us, and they played harder and they stuck to their game plan. They executed better. They worked better together. I was trying to get the crowd going because I'm trying to find ways to manufacture some life. And sometimes that's a coach trying to get the crowd into it. Sometimes, and listen, I'm going to stick up for my team and get in the refs' ear when I feel like it's appropriate. the refs had no part in the way we played and the result. Liam, you have another question? You go ahead.
I was just gonna ask, when it comes to free throws, it's such a mental thing. It feels like 90% mental.
Yep.
The guys right now, when they're having these free throw struggles, do you feel like that maybe there's a mental block there, that when they're at the line, we saw guys hit one and then they wouldn't hit that second? Like,
Yep.
how do you find a way to get over that?
Yeah, I mean, listen, this team has some unbelievable shooters, and I haven't lost faith in that. And I think we're still going to see a lot of games where, and you guys saw them earlier, we're going to break a lot of records. We're going to make a lot of shots. We're in a little bit of a tough stretch right now. You can call it a mental block, but for our team and the way we can shoot it, in back-to-back games, the struggle from the free throw line is to me, it's a microcosm of what we're doing. Right, we're in our own head a little bit right now, and that's, to me, I've lost no faith into what we can accomplish this year, just because we've been embarrassed the last two games. These games are going to keep coming, and to me, I'll be damned if I let this team continue to play this way. I'm telling you right now, I will find guys that will compete and lay it out. And we may lose, we may, just not be as good, but I will not sit on this sideline, and especially at home, and put on a show like that and just be okay with it. No, I'm not gonna get going right now, but there's a 0% chance that's gonna happen. Thank you, guys.
Thanks.